ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्.
Okay, now we will, after a positive energy from Gayatri Month, we can start our today's e-conference with Honorable Dr. Harvardan Kaur ma'am. Now it's your turn. You can start.
Good evening, everyone. Starting with very famous lines of a very famous poet of a country. तुम जाते हो पाठशाला में, तुम जाते हो पाठशाला में, मैं जाता हूँ कविशाला. तुम लेते हो दवा दर्द की दवाशाला में, मुझे सुकून मिलता है मधुशाला. Now this is art. Very famous Madhushala written by Harivansh Rai Bachchan. But today, what we are going to do is be discussing about the science of alcoholism. Now, in my experience, I have gathered very small trivial issues while working with my patients, which I realized that many of us may not be knowing about and which leads to a problem of dependency. So we have to start thinking drinking. God is a group of drunks. That's rationalization. So railing liquor, foreign and sangrur, not understood by the layman, and people gather in social gatherings using it not only for enjoying but even in the name of appeasement of God. So what is alcohol? Most of us would think it is a stimulant. It stimulates us and makes us fearless. You must have seen people, they become, their personality changes, they start dancing, they start singing, they would do most of the things which they don't do when they are not they have not consumed alcohol. But contrary to this belief, alcohol, it is a CNS depressant. It not only depresses our central nervous system, but it is also a toxin for the cells. So basically, we are drinking poison in small amounts, and that I would be explaining small and large amounts. In small amounts, what happens is that because it has disinhibited our central nervous system, so it has a relaxing effect on us. But as we continue to consume this more and more, because the relaxing effect would stay only till the effect of alcohol is there. So we take more and more of it, and then the judgment gets impaired. We have a slurred speech, we have difficulty in walking, and this is what is intoxication all about. And then there is another myth going on that beer is not alcohol. Wine is good for the heart. Is beer not alcohol? Is it 0% alcohol in it? Now we have to ask the amount of drink that a person has consumed. Is alcohol, and 1 drink of alcohol amounts to 12 grams of alcohol, which increases the blood alcohol level by 20 milligram per deciliter in our body. Beer is about 5 to 10% of alcohol in it, wine 10 to 15, and spirits, that is gin, vodka, whiskey, rum, 15 to 45%. Now, converting all these drinks, half a bottle of beer approximately is equal to 2 large of wine, is equal to 1 small of spirit, small being 30 ml and large being 60 ml. So if a person says, I have only drunk 2 bottles of beer, that amounts to 4 drinks. And the legal intoxication in our country is 40 mg per deciliter, where you're not fit to drive. And I'll tell you why about this later. Then there are certain issues and certain things which people have come up with. Beer before liquor, you will get sicker. So drink up your spirits and then I don't know what beer does to it. Liquor before beer, you're in the clear. Now you already had a stronger thing, so what will beer do? That may be the idea. But the actuality is that the blood alcohol level is directly proportional to the level of intoxication you get. Whether you're having a beer or you're having whiskey or you're having wine, this is up to the tongue of your taste. At the level of the cells in the brain, the action of 1 drink will be 1 drink. So too much of any combination makes one sick. Country liquor. Now there are many communities, when a child is born, they put few drops of liquor or a drop of liquor, which is homemade, inside the child's mouth. And since this liquor is made in the house, the child has a large glass. Now we don't know how much ml it is or how much concentration of alcohol there is every day with his breakfast. Now, since the people are making this liquor in their house, they feel they do get a less hangover but more kick. So they enjoy it more. Now, neither do they know the concentration of alcohol and neither do they know what the impurities are in it. And this leads to huge tragedy. It is said that alcohol kills slowly. But then who's in a hurry to die? Many myths like drinking black coffee, taking cold shower will hasten the sobering process. Yes, a little bit of your headache may go off, a little bit of your body aches may go off. And also the type of alcohol beverage you drink can influence the hangover results. But the truth is that there are no shortcuts to sobriety. Only time will sober you up, and body can process only 1 drink per hour, that is 20 ml per hour. So all these myths, if one follows, the next day it's a very bad day to deal with. Champagne. Well, you win a cricket match, it's open. You get a promotion, it's open. There is marriage, it's open. Nowadays, even in children's birthday parties, it's open. Does champagne make you more drunk? Well, actually, yes. There are bubbles which lead to opening of the wall between the stomach and the small intestine, and as a result of it, the alcohol passes fast, and the flow is more faster due to the presence of carbon dioxide in it. So opening this, having this thrill or this the our ancestors will come to using champagne. Well, this champagne harms us more than any other drink. Now I'm going to tell about certain questions. If you drink 3 times in a week, if you drink 3 times in a week, even if you drink one drink, now we are talking about one drink, not a peg. If you drink one drink at a time, you have a problem of alcohol. Most of you must be thinking, what is madam saying? I am drinking only 3 times in a week, and that also I take one drink. How can I be having problem with alcohol? The truth is that once you drink 3 times in a week, you become a regular drinker, and you have climbed a ladder of drinking, of becoming an alcohol user, abuser in your life. The other question I put up, you are drinking only 5 days in a month, just 5 days, and 25 days you are sober. I mean, just imagine the balance, 5 days and 25 days. Can you still have a problem with alcohol? Yes, you can, because if you drink 5 or more drinks at one go, even if you drink 5 days in a month, you have climbed another ladder of alcohol dependency. Now listen to this very carefully. If your drinking is interfering with your work, you are a heavy drinker. But if your work is interfering with your drinking, then you are an alcoholic. Now, this is the limits, height of it. You are drinking only 2 days in a month, and rest of the days you are sober. By God, 28 days you are sober, only 2 days you drink. And still the psychiatrist has a cheek to say that you have a problem with alcohol. This must be actually getting to you. Well, no. If in those 2 days you remain intoxicated continuously for 48 hours, then you have a big problem with alcohol, even though the other 28 days you are sober. This is called binge drinking, and it is the worst form of drinking, most harmful, and usually associated with depression. Alcohol is not always bad for your body. Now, why would people, make alcohol? Why would these companies do so? So most of the data which comes out is from the studies done from these companies. It's now beer also. So wine and beer have been targeted. What is not harmful is moderate drinking. That is, now again I focus on a drink and not pegs. 1 drink in a woman and 2 drinks in a man. But then the reality is that with all substances which affect your brain, that is the psychoactive substances, they have a property, that is the same amount over a period of time does not give you the same pleasurable effect. So you have to keep on increasing your drinks, and here is where the problem starts. And then women, yes, we are not less than men, are we? If they can think two, why should I drink one? I should have four, shouldn't I? Well, no. No, because of two reasons. One, because you have more body fat, that's the way the nature has made us, and less water and less enzyme to metabolize the alcohol. So you will be more intoxicated and face more adverse effects of alcohol. And especially if you have habituated to alcohol and get pregnant, there will be lots of problems. There can be lots of problems in the baby born, which is called fetal alcohol syndrome. So, ladies, we compete, but not at least where alcohol is concerned. I can vote at drinking, so why should I not drink? Also, at this age, voting is a much bigger decision I have to take than drinking, isn't it? No. The human brain usually is not fully developed until the early 20s, and use of alcohol before it drastically impacts learning and memory. So cognitive problems are more in these people. And before 18, if you are drinking, it is one of the indicators of antisocial personality. So you can remember this by alcohol is a good preservative for everything but the brain. I know when I'm too drunk to drive, I'm bothered about my family. Who wouldn't be? Well, do you know that your driving skills are severely compromised even before you exhibit drunken behavior? And judgment can be impaired even before signs of intoxication. So, the breath analyzer test is a very good test to stop you from doing this, because not only will you harm yourself from accidents, but others too. Alcohol is a social lubricant. Usually, now women also, but usually men, they gather up and have a few drinks, get disinhibited, talk to each other, gossip, and that's how they think is one of the ways to get up the social ladder. But what happens is that alcohol can cause at least 400 diseases, and the most common disease that you would be aware of is, as Amitabh Bachchan said in Sharabi, शराब पीने से liver खराब हो जाता है. So finally you will be lubricated in formalin. These are the amounts of drinks and what happens. So if a person says that he refuses that, this is how we go with the history. People keep on saying, I behaved like this, I did this, but I have never done this. That means he's got his blackouts. In 15 drinks, you have a loss of consciousness. And yes, you can die also due to excessive drinking of alcohol, just because of the effect of alcohol, not because of other effects which I'll be telling later, by going into coma and finally death. Okay, Men will say to their wives, I've had 6 drinks I shouldn't have had, so now 2 more can't hurt me more, so stop nagging. Let me enjoy my drinks. Well, what happens is that every more and more drinks that you're having, your blood alcohol level increases. So, studies have found that about 80% burns, 70% drowning, road traffic accidents 50%, murders 70%, and 25% of suicides, which is not a very small figure, occur under the influence of alcohol. A very valid and very easy question with genetics, that if there is a alcoholic in the family, the risk of becoming an alcoholic becomes more. It's 3 to 4 times higher in these people. What is more important to know that if 10 people start drinking today, and the data has changed from 1 to 2, so if 10 people start drinking today, at the end of 10 years, 2 will be alcohol dependent. Which are these 2? We still don't know. Addiction is just a bad habit, and I can quit it with my willpower, and that's what the society too thinks, and it's taken as a moral disease. But then we'll know it's more than a habit. It changes the neurochemistry in your brain, and what it requires is treatment, support, lifestyle changes. It's just not merely what Sanjay Dutt said, a chemical locha. It's much more than that. It is a permanent change in the neurochemistry, and then what you have to do is 24 hours, for every 24 hours for the rest of your life, you will have to take a pledge that these 24 hours I don't drink. Then the next day, next 24 hours I don't drink. So this is not a very, situation which would be very pleasurable for you to stay in for the rest of your life. The addict has to want help, or how else, would I treat him? What happens is that most people go to the doctors for their disease, their treatment. But then in mental diseases and alcoholism per se, most people don't come on their own for getting treatment. It is the others who get them. So help them when they are got by their significant others. The overcoming of craving, that is the uncontrolled desire to, have alcohol, has been correlated with nirvana. People who can hold a drink can drink more. That is, people who in the beginning stages drink more, they don't have a problem with drinking. They can drink more, they can hold themselves, they don't create any ruckus. So what's the problem in them? The problem in them is that they become dependent more soon, their tolerance increases more soon. Now, on an average, all this information that I've given you, nature is giving you 10 years to become dependent on alcohol. Nature has been very kind. Nature has given you a lot of time to seek help, to control yourself, to take treatment, and get off this habit which knowingly or unknowingly you got into. Drinking you in high altitudes makes you warmer. Well, it doesn't. It takes you to your grave. What happens is that with alcohol, the blood vessels of the skin dilate. So, because of this, more heat gets lost. You get a sense of feeling of warmth. You don't even come to know when your temperature has gone down, and a lot of deaths occur on this account. Now again, this myth is there that people are taking alcohol, that alcohol helps a person sleep. Well, you may go to sleep, but you will never enter the deep sleep stage, and the sleep will be fragmented. So you will never get up in the morning in a fresh state. Well, this is another one for us ladies. Alcohol can age your face. Do you want to look more aged than your actual age is? It causes dehydration. Your face wrinkles up. You look more old. So it's better not to compete with the men. Have either one drink, better not at all. And today, the men also are equally, aware of their looking, and we have parlors for the men. So this may be one motivating factor for the men, to stop alcohol. Alcohol is a sexual stimulant. Uh, you get a little disinhibited, in a little more, happier mood. So yes, you do feel sexually stimulated, but then what happens is that even Shakespeare knew it years ago. It increases your desire, but takes away your ability, because the tone is down, and over a period of time, testosterone decreases. So this should be one, again, big no factor for not taking alcohol. So these are a few small issues which over a period of time I found in my experience, which people usually don't know and get into this bad habit of alcoholism and ruin their life. What is the need of this lecture? So many lectures day in, day out, so much on alcoholism. But then, this knowledge that you have gained today, you can impart it to so many people and help them save their life. And that's what humanity is all about. दिए तो बहुत चाहिए दिवाली बनाने के लिए, पर एक ही दिया काफी है रोशनी दिखाने के लिए. And that diya is you. That lamp is you. Thank you so much for your patient hearing.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for presenting your ideas regarding alcohol and its management.